I have no idea what's going on.
Yes, it's very unclear who we were rooting for. This, for the most part.
For the most part.
We're just frustrated with him. I don't know. I feel like I'm just leaving this conversation more unsure.
All right, welcome to another episode of David and Gabby's Book Club. I'm David. This is my incredible wife, Gabby.
Hey, everyone.
And this is a podcast where we just hang out, chill, and talk about books and book-related topics.
Yeah, so today we're going to be reviewing The Strength of the Few by James Islington, which is the second book in the series that I don't know what the overarching series name is.
It's the Heirarchy series saga.
The first book was called The Will of the Many.
Yes.
And this is book number 2.
Yes. It could potentially also be James Islington. We don't know.
Yeah, we could probably figure that out really easy, but we haven't
looked it up.
We haven't taken that initiative. Yeah, so we're going to start out and we're going to go like high level to begin with in case you have not read The Will of the Many. But pretty quick, we're going to be reviewing The Strength of the Few. We're not going to give spoilers for Strength of the Few at the beginning. We're just going to go over different thoughts about the story and the world and the characters. But we're probably going to get into spoilers for The Will of the Many. Just a heads up if you have not read The Will of the Many.
Yeah. We're basically going to have like 3 levels to this onion that we're going to be peeling.
Yeah.
So basically, like, we're going to just give a quick overview of like our thoughts on the second book in case you're watching this and wondering if the series is even worth starting now that the second book is out. We'll give you kind of a review of that without spoiling the first one. But you can't really review the book without like spoiling the first book. So pretty quick, we'll give you a warning of like, okay, now we're going to go into spoilers of the first book and review The Strength of the Few. And then we're going to break it again with spoilers for The Strength of the Few. So we're going to have the spoiler talk as well. That'll be towards the second half of the podcast.
Yep. So David took over the last of the itinerary for me.
Sorry, I just had the layers and the onions.
Yeah, you did a really good job explaining. You were doing a much better job than I was doing. I was kind of fumbling. I was explaining it, but it wasn't explained well. I
was having that faithful donkey moment there. I was like, I need to talk about my onion. Peeling the layers of the onion.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's Shrek.
That's Shrek.
Donkey wants to do the cake. Come on, cakes have layers.
No donkey.
All right, Shrek moment. Sorry, wrong character. I don't think there's any way to give a summary of this book without spoiling the first book.
Yeah.
So for those of you who haven't read the first book, I think it does a good job answering a lot of the questions that you have in the first book that the first book kind of like creates. And I do think, in my opinion, the pacing is a lot like the second half, because my criticism of the first book, it was pretty slow to begin with, at least for me. You didn't think so, but I thought the beginning was a little slow, but it picked up. In this one, I think the pacing, it kind of picks up a lot, almost to its detriment, I think, because it just skips a lot of like time and things that happen, and it kind of gives you a summary of things that happen. Yeah. But I think there's a lot of people that were disappointed with the second book, and I think I'm there as well. I'm not like so disappointed that I'm not going to read it, the rest of it. Like, I still think it was pretty good, but I was like, it kind of fell flat a little bit from the first one, because the first one made you really looking forward to what's going on and what's next and what's coming up and how he's going to resolve things, and just a lot of anticipation. And this one was just like the stuff you're anticipating. It wasn't really fulfilling for me, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. How do I give spoilers before he talks on the second book?
Just your overall thoughts on the book. Like, was it good? Was it not worth it? Was it like disappointing?
It was decent.
Decent.
I'd say it was decent. I'm not sad that I read it. I'm not raving about it. I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't super memorable.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. We're probably going to read the rest of it because of the podcast, but like if you didn't have the podcast, would you have wanted to read the next?
Yeah, I think I want to read the next. I think this one just kind of felt like, trying to think of how to say it. It definitely was like the next installment in the series, but it didn't feel like an encased story in and of itself, I guess. It built off of the last book, and I feel like it built towards the next book. But as its own standalone book, meh.
I gotcha. Yeah, so it's like kind of a filler.
I think it's worth it because of how it built up to the next book.
Yeah.
I want to read it. But the dissatisfaction, I think, is just the standalone story in and of itself. It wasn't awful. It just wasn't as fulfilling as I wanted it to be.
Yeah. I would agree with that. But I think that's just like our short.
Short, depending on how David cuts this.
Yeah. So if you came here for just like a thoughts of the series, if it's worth starting, that's kind of our thoughts. Are like,
yeah, definitely read this. I think read the series.
Yeah, our spark noted thoughts on the second one. Mm-hmm. I think James Islington, I think he can, like, the world is interesting enough to where he could totally crush it on the next book or two, which I think last time I said there was 5 books. I don't know where I heard that from. But after researching, he just said it's going to be more than a trilogy. That's all he said. And I don't think he knows how many it was. So that could be 4, it could be 5, could be 6, could be 10.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if it's 10, but I think he just said he wants it to be more than a trilogy. So, yeah, I don't know where I heard 5. No idea where I heard 5. But here we're going to be spoilers for The Will of the Many. So if you're just wanting thoughts on whether to start it, I think you should. But leave now unless you want spoilers for The Will of the Many, which I think it's worth reading that book without spoilers, because it's one of those that once you open the curtain, you can't unopen that curtain.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's do the summary now.
Yeah. Sorry, we're just thrown off. This isn't our normal routine.
So Strength of the Few, it starts right off where The Will of the Many ended. Mm-hmm. Just kind of like it switches to 3 points of view, which is interesting because like you've got well, his first series was following multiple points of view, and it would like hop between the multiple points of view.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And it was different people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it kind of goes back to that for his second series, except it's multiple points of view, but you're the same person every time, which is a little weird. He had an interesting, a very clever way of distinguishing which world you're in. It just had a little like logo for each one. It actually has that in the synchronous, the epilogue of the Will of the Many. If you didn't notice that, it has a little like 3 swirl thing, and then for one of the worlds, and then the other world, I think it was like a circle with a cross or whatever. But it basically has that if you're reading it physically or digitally. But for the audiobook, that was like,
it took a minute to orient yourself.
Yeah, because there's no words. It's just like a symbol on the book. He doesn't read a symbol, and he doesn't like substitute it with like we're in Luceum or we're in Obiteum or this is Res. Like he doesn't. There's no verbal indication of the world that you're starting the chapter in. It's just chapter 27, and he starts going, and you can orient it yourself based on like characters,
what's going on.
Yeah, what's going on. Like there's enough that you can.
Yeah, usually within the first like 30 seconds, I feel like you kind of have but I will say, after I oriented myself on some chapters when I was listening to it, I had to go back to the beginning because I was like, okay, what's happening now?
Yeah.
Because this did not match the end of the last chapter.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to figure out what world are we in now, because I think we're in a different one.
Yeah, it is interesting. He actually, I think he goes by different names, like in the worlds, I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so like that's a better, it's also another indication of in the audiobook where you're at, because he's called different things in different worlds, because the worlds are very different from each other, like very different.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not going to go much further into that until we get the spoiler talk, but like they're like completely different worlds. I mean, literally, but also like in style and how it feels, and which that kind of threw me off. Like in terms of, I really liked the setting of Catan, you know, and it just feels like part of the reason you like reading the book is because the world that you're in. And then now it's like not just a different world, but completely different feel to the world. And it's like, wait, this isn't the book this isn't the series or story that I like originally
like was invested in.
Yeah. So
yeah,
if that makes sense. Not
it's
just
almost like, have you ever finished a series and then there's a spin-off series, but the spin-off series, like it's based in the same world, but it follows different characters?
Oh, no.
I'm trying to remember a specific example, but there have definitely been a fair amount of books like that. And I just remember getting so excited to go back to the world that I love, but it not being the same. And I always end up really enjoying the spin-offs.
Yeah.
But it's always like a little bit of a letdown at the beginning, just because my expectations and my hopes and like are so high, but it's like different enough that
I just thought of an analogy for me. It's like, you've obviously read a lot more than I have. I don't think I've ever experienced, I don't know if I've ever read a spin-off of any series.
Okay.
But for me, I think it was a lot like going from Avatar: The Last Airbender to The Legend of Korra.
Yeah.
So yes, you're following a completely different avatar, but the world is completely different. Like, you're in the same world, but just the style and feel of Avatar: The Last Airbender, like if you loved that like setting, if you love the setting in terms of the time and the culture and all of that, you don't get that in The Legend of Korra. It's very like the industrial setting or the Industrial Revolution style of culture and time. And I think like that threw me off. Like at first, when I first watched The Legend of Korra, I didn't like it for a while because
it's not.
I just wasn't a fan of the industrial era setting, if that makes sense. And it was like, I really liked I don't know what kind of setting that The Last Airbender was. Just there was no technology. It was like very like older and all of that. And now that it's just like there's airplanes and all this stuff, it's just, I didn't like that. And it took me a while to get over that. And that's what I felt here. Like, it's the same world, but it's a completely different setting and culture in each world. And like part of it is just like, this isn't the culture and world and setting that I wanted. Yeah. Or that I first fell in love with in the first one. So that was hard for me to get over.
But I would say, like, if we're going back to just like a synopsis, we've kind of like shifted into like likes and dislikes. I would say a really short synopsis for the book would just be, this is trying to stop the next cataclysm.
Yeah. So figuring out what.
And you're just working to figure out how to do that. The whole book.
Yeah. Like the whole book is just, figuring out what's going on, reorienting, stopping the cataclysm. What do I need to do? Being synchronous, all that fun jazz.
I mean, that's a super short synopsis.
Yeah.
But I'm really bad at longer synopses.
It's also, and another part is him just like fending off, like dealing with the anguish as well. Remember, because that's a big, I almost forgot about that going to the strength of the few, the whole anguish storyline. Like the anguish like has him on a like chokehold in the first one. But like it's the ending so crazy, you almost like forget about that. But yeah, that's still a problem. It's still an issue. And so it's him that he also has to navigate that.
Yeah. So that is kind of the short synopsis. But if we were to go in and like dive into like the worlds.
We were kind of already hitting on that. earlier. We kind of jumped into the world.
You did. I didn't.
I know. But we were both. I feel like we talked about it quite a bit.
Yeah, right? You're not following the outline.
I didn't. I know. But I'm saying, like, what else can we say about the worlds?
Well, I was saying that I felt like each world could have had a book in and of itself. Mm. And so I almost think that it's a really cool concept to split your world into 3 identical copies. Like that's really cool.
Yeah.
Like a really cool just world. But just the practicalities of now writing a single book from 3 different worlds is, I mean, I think he did a great job of it. But I think that there was so much going on in each world that I didn't ever feel satisfied.
Yeah.
With the information that I got from a single world. Yeah. I guess.
I think there were also just like a lot of growing pains because I'm sure he's learning a lot trying to write that, you know. And I think there was a lot of growing pains in it in terms of a lot happens, but at the same time, if you look at each individual world, not a lot happens, if that makes sense. None of the worlds like move forward a ton. And like I said in the previously, there's just big time gaps that he's just like didn't have time to talk about because he's splitting between 3 different worlds. And so you like, you jump here when you get to the next world and it kind of almost like gives a short, like, this is what happened this last X amount of time. And then he just keeps going and you're just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What happened?
Right. Yeah.
So, I think there's just some growing pains in that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because by the end of the book, my favorite world wasn't the world of the last book.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Ooh, we're going to have to talk about that when we do spoilers.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I was almost the opposite. I kind of wanted to just like, can we just get back to res? I want to figure out what happens and here, and here. Like
he was really frustrating me in res, so I was ready to get away from it. But, yeah. So, I mean, really cool thought process. And I was also thinking, I would have been super unsatisfied if he had split the worlds into different books.
You would have been unsatisfied?
Mm-hmm. This is probably the best case scenario of how to write it, in my personal opinion. Yeah, I'm torn on if I like it overall.
Yeah, I just thought of this. I wonder what it would have been like if he almost did it like Lord of the Rings style, where it's like
he like finishes one storyline,
finishes
and
one
then
whole storyline, and goes to the next storyline, and then the third storyline. I don't know if I would have liked that or not. Maybe not.
I know. I'm torn because other series that I've read that have split off a complete other book to follow a storyline that's split. At first, I really didn't like it because it's not where the last book ended. And so it's like I had to go backwards in time. But by the end of the book, I was really into it and felt satisfied with that storyline's arc until the storylines converged again.
Gotcha.
So I feel like that would be a more satisfying way maybe to write it. But once again, I
have no idea.
I don't know how that if that even could work with the story that he has in mind.
Yeah. Sorry, my leg is like it's like sore from being
As we're filming this, it's Snowmageddon outside.
Has it started snowing?
Oh, the world is preparing for Snowmageddon. It's actually not going to start until apparently after midnight now. Yeah, but we went to the store last night because it said that it was supposed to start at 4 tonight.
Yeah.
And do you know how many people were at Costco yesterday?
Everyone and their mother.
I don't think anybody would be at the store today. I also don't know that there's any groceries at the store today.
That's true. There might not be any toilet paper.
2020 all over again. Anyways, back to the book. What were your thoughts about the characters in the book? I can give you my thoughts.
Yeah.
I have some. So I really like the way James Islington writes characters and relationships, I think he does a really good job helping you connect with the characters. But I definitely felt a deeper connection with characters last book compared to this book because of the different points of view.
Oh, yeah. You just didn't have enough time.
I didn't have enough time with each set of characters to feel as connected to them as the last book. I think that if like the book had continued, I like the foundation that he set with all the characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just didn't feel like there was as much depth.
Yeah. I can see that.
But at the same time, like there was still a lot of depth.
Yeah, I agree. I do feel connected and like I care a lot more about the characters in Res than in Luceum or Obiteum. Just again, because like, oh gosh, except for Cearor. Cearor is the only one like in another world that I like care about.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like that one was deep.
Well, because
you kind of know about him.
Yeah, you basically learned about him and grew close to him the whole time in the first one.
I didn't think about that. You're right.
So he's a part of the gang that you hung out with the first one.
But everybody that you meet for the first time.
Yeah,
in this
all of
one,
those people, like I would have a hard time telling you their names, let alone. Granted, this is we finished this like
probably 3 weeks ago.
For you.
Oh yeah, I took a long time to read this book. That probably tells you like
I read it in like a week and a half, and then
Gabby, I took 3 weeks, a solid 3 weeks
or more. No, because I think it was more because I started and finished Empire of Silence before you finished The Strength of the Few, and I did not read that in a week and a half. I think it like took me 2 or 3 weeks to read Empire of Silence.
I was definitely dragging my feet.
Yeah.
I ended up listening to it while I worked out in the morning. That's how I got through it.
But yeah, it was probably over a month that I have read it. For you, it might have been 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I think it's been 3 weeks because
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. But it's been a while. But I can tell you the characters' names from Res. Outside of Cearor, I have a hard time telling you the names of any of the characters in the other worlds. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just don't have a whole lot of time with them to get to know them, and
yeah. But at the same time, like the characters that you do meet, I feel like if you had the same amount of time that you had with them last book, like I think that they would be really solid characters.
Yeah, they're cool characters, and there's depth to them. But you just don't have the time with them to get to know them a whole lot. So yeah, it was just hard. But what about the writing style of it? Of just like the main thing I'm thinking of is like I can start on this one, but it's like pacing. So that like I said.
Sorry, I can't help them. They just pop up.
I lost my train of thought.
Pacing.
Oh yeah, like I talked about it a little bit in the like big overview, but I do think the pacing was a lot faster in this one. And not only that, but I think he does a good job of, he like front loads a lot of the answers to a lot of the big questions from the end of the first book, if that makes sense. It's like in the first like 2 or 3 chapters, he gives you just a big answer dump on some stuff. Mm-hmm. So you get satisfied at the very beginning. You don't have to like read a lot to get just a little bit of answers. He just answers a lot of them right then, and then he gives you answers at a pretty good pace, I think, to a lot of the questions that you have from the first book.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And then just the pacing in general. Imagine like the second half of The Will of the Many, and that's like the pacing of the entire book, in my opinion. In each world, there's a lot of stuff that happens.
There's a lot of stuff that happens.
Which could be a positive or negative, depending on who you are and what kind of books you like to read and reader you are. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I think my biggest takeaways on the writing style was the 3 points of view and the characters' stories. It felt like being cut short because you're skipping from world to world, and I didn't love the timeline continuing and not going back.
What do you mean?
So like when you went to the second world, it didn't pick up where the second world ended. It picked up where the world you just left ended, like timeline wise.
Yeah.
So you just skipped out on what was happening in that world.
Yeah.
for an undetermined length of time.
Yeah.
Because you like, I think you go through a world at a time.
Not always, but yeah.
And
I did notice, like, and it wasn't even always like perfectly in order. It wasn't like Obiteum, Luceum, Res, Obiteum, Luceum, and Res. And sometimes it was like Obiteum, Res, Obiteum, Res, Obiteum, Res, Luceum, Obiteum, Luceum, Res. Like, it was just...
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is, like, sometimes you're going through multiple other storylines before you get back to the world you just left. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, how many months have passed? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It was almost like you were at the end of a book every end of a world, like at an end of a short story.
Yeah.
And like you're picking up like in another story, like the next book.
Some of the ends of the chapters, I was like, really? We're going to another... What?
Yeah, because it would kind of end, like sometimes you'd end at like a cliffhanger almost.
Yeah.
And then when you come back, like you're not coming back to that scene. You're coming back and it's been weeks since that happened. And it's like, I wanted to go back to that scene.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree.
Yeah, but like
I remember that.
But I also appreciate, how do you write 3 worlds? How would I have done it differently? I think that he did a good job with it.
Yeah.
It's just it's not the way the series began. And so I'm just not sure that I love it. I
think he might have tried to do too much. I'm thinking specifically Res. I don't know how to put my finger on it. It wasn't super satisfying, and I feel like he could have like gone deeper if he like, instead of going from here to here in the book, going from like here to here and finding a good stopping place here, and just like stretching that depth a little bit more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, he did move the story along.
It felt, the pacing was good in the sense that like a lot of stuff's happening and the energy's high, but it felt rushed in the sense that, yes, sometimes you're just like, wait, how much time has passed? Mm-hmm. Like, what happened? Like, important things happen off screen. Like, yeah. And he just gives you a summary of them, and it's just like, how did we get here?
Yeah. Okay, so do you have anything else not spoiler wise to talk about?
Not really. Like, I'm good with going into just ratings. Like, the ratings. Like, that was. Yeah, I can't think.
I think those are the big things.
Yeah. Like,
we could probably talk for a while longer, but yeah, I think we'd just be repeating ourselves. I honestly didn't write down my rating, so this is just off the cuff. Ooh. I know. I'm gonna say 3.5. Yeah, it's definitely not 3.5. I think it's I'm almost stuck between like a 3 and a 2.5. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. I think I'm going to give it a 3. Okay. Because I do think it's not doing quarter points.
Or we could do quarter points.
Not doing quarter points.
I think you want to.
If we did, I would have done the quarter point.
David gives this book a 2.75 rating. It's official. He's gone quarter.
Man, I want to give it a 3 because I'm like optimistic still of the rest of the series. It could be one of those that's like, I'm thinking back to like Mistborn. I was just like, I think I was feeling the same way as like, I gave it a slightly bumped up score because I was like, I have hope for the future, but the future let me down. And so I would have gone back and like, so like if the series comes out and it's not great, then this one would probably be a 2.5, but like I'm still hopeful for the rest of the series. So I think I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay. Final answer?
Final answer.
Cool.
Lock it in, Bob.
All right, let's get into spoilers. $1. I feel like I've wanted to talk spoilers this whole time.
Yeah. All right, spoiler warning. Get out of here if you don't want spoilers. Okay. And don't go to the comments either, because I granted we're still a really small channel, so like there may or may not be comments on this video. Who knows? But yeah, I'm pretty sure all of the comments, like I might pin a like comment saying everything below is a spoiler if there's spoilers. But I would just be safe. Don't go to the comments. Okay, fair enough. Then it can be a safe space for the rest of us to talk theories and the book and stuff. But anyways. All right, let's go into it.
Okay, so let's talk about the actual worlds. Obiteum is the worst. It is so hopeless, and I just needed a little bit more. You know, like it had Cearor, and like Cearor was really holding it up for a while. You know.
Well, but then you lose him.
But then you lose him, and like after Cearor was gone in that world, I think that's when I stopped. That's when I started going really slow in the series. And I think it was because it just felt so sad.
Maybe.
Well, and you never find out what happens to Cearor.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing is like, part of me is like, I wish he would have brought Cearor back later. Yeah. So like even when he came back, like when he escaped, what was the pyramid place?
Yeah,
when
I totally thought he was going to find him in the garden.
Yeah, I totally thought that he was going to find Cearor again and like reunite, and I was like super pumped, but then he never did.
Yeah.
So like that could have been a point to it, but at the same time,
like, does he have another plan for Cearor, or is Cearor just gone forever?
Well, no, I think he has. I think he has another plan, because I think the like the other Cearor at the end of in Luceum makes you think that like, wait, did the Cearor in Obiteum, like, was those like all lies? Did he really believe that stuff, or was like Cearor really a part of what was it called?
The
Convergence. Is that what it was?
Convergence? I don't think Cearor was a part of the Convergence.
Is that what it was called?
I think so.
I think he might have been like taken or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't think so. I think the Cearor in Obiteum was just like
Viridius.
Yeah, just like Viridius. Like, he just knew what he had found on the island.
Yeah.
And had gone in because they're like, well, we got to stop this next cataclysm from coming. And whoever this Ka guy, like, we got to take him down. And so that's what his goal is. But I think the difference is that in Luceum, there are, what are the like shaman called? That whole group with the staffs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Well, that whole group, I feel like in that world, there's a lot of history, I feel like. Like, there's still like a baseline knowledge of what happened thousands of years ago before the world split. And maybe they don't have like a detailed map of like everything, but I feel like they have more knowledge than maybe either of the other worlds have. You know, like what's the number one guy called in Res? Like the Princeps?
The Princeps, yeah.
I feel like they might have an idea of what's going on.
Yeah, well, they do. That one guy, when he went and murdered all those Princeps, they knew about the cataclysms, and they were like, it's necessary. You know this. Yeah.
But it made me feel like maybe they're coming at it from a perspective of it's necessary from like a selfish point of view almost. I don't know. I still didn't feel like they had the whole picture.
Yeah.
I feel like the most knowledgeable world was Luceum.
Yeah, because I mean, it's very clear that Cearor and Luceum, had talked with Ka, at least, and knows what's going on. So, yeah, I see that. But yeah, the Obiteum, I agree. Honestly, like, if the whole book, like, the whole first book was about that world...
Yeah,
in that res, I don't think I would have enjoyed it, and because it's just so like dark and
so
hopeless,
oppressive,
and and it's very like dystopian. Yeah, very dystopian, but almost like too dystopian to be able to handle. You know, it's like a desolate dystopian world. Yeah.
So the reason Res wasn't my favorite was because felt like Vis was just being kind of... I was just frustrated with the Vis, okay? Like, at the beginning when he was like, I'm not going to talk to you. What was the Prince of Palace's name?
Viridius.
I'm not going to talk to Viridius because I'm angry. Who cares if you're angry? We all need to know what's going on with the cataclysms.
Yeah.
Right? And then, like, he's super in love with this girl. And, like, fair enough, she stabs him. But then he's like, I love you, but I can't trust you, so I can't love you. I didn't love that. Well, and then, like...
I mean, it's valid.
Sure, but I didn't like it. Like, I was really into that whole love story. Well, and then I think... is it Victoria? Not Victoria.
Talking about Aequa?
Aequa. For some reason,
Victoria.
I think that should make a good Victoria. See, if books had proper names, I think that she'd probably
would have been a Victoria.
She would have been a Victoria. Anyways, Aequa. I think Aequa was supposed to be like the next love, friend interest. He kills her off. And so every time something in that book, in that world that was happening, that I was like, okay, I could kind of get behind this. Like I could enjoy, he chops it off. The one good thing was the dog.
Yeah. Which that died.
I know. And then, like, at the end, this whole zombie awakening situation, and he sees his friends, and, like, that's kind of cool, but I don't know.
Tell me how you really feel.
I did not like Rez. I enjoyed Rez, but, like, I did not enjoy the Vis in Rez. I was like, someone needs to sit this guy down and, I don't know, give him better circumstances or a better attitude.
I didn't like...
I don't know.
I
liked parts of it. Like I enjoyed his relationship with is it Olivia? Oh, the little sister.
Calidus' sister. I think it was Olivia. Was it?
Well, if it isn't, that she should be called Olivia.
Livia. Not Olivia. Just Livia. Yeah.
I would just like to insert here what I insert in every single fantasy book ever. That the naming situation is ridiculous. Anyways. I liked the like grief dynamic there, and I can kind of see where, I mean, he just lost Calidus. He went through a super traumatic event, obviously, and he's still young. So the feelings that he's having, the situation that it's going through, like it's probably valid. It's just, it was almost like the fifth Harry Potter, where everyone, I feel like, had mixed reviews on the fifth Harry Potter, leaning towards didn't like it because Harry's so whiny. But I mean, like, Harry's just gone through a whole lot at the end of the fourth book, and I feel like this has gone through a whole lot. And so being kind of moody and unreasonable makes sense to a point. It just doesn't mean that I enjoy reading it.
Yeah, it is tough because I'm not a huge fan of, there's just a lot of stuff happens in Res, but a lot of stuff happens, but it doesn't really go anywhere until the very, very end, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. First off, with Aequa, I was so upset when he kills her off. Not like I felt for it a little bit. Like I felt it, but at the same time, I'm just like, really? You're just getting to know her, you know? In terms of like, he already doesn't like, not in the sense that like I feel bad for Viz, in the sense that he already doesn't have a whole lot of people, but I'm talking about like, for like, to keep me hooked to the book, there's not a whole lot of people that he's really close with that I want to stay here for, you know? And Aequa was just becoming another one. And then he kills her off, and you're back to just him and Aiden, which Aiden is just like, he didn't even spend a lot of time with Aiden at all in the whole book. So even that one's like hanging on by a thread. Not in like Viz's relationship, but like in our like relationship with keeping us to the book, if that makes sense. Like there was already very few,
which, I mean, it definitely made you feel like the injustice of the situation.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
Like it invoked a lot of feelings.
Yes, I do agree with that.
But yeah, I wish he would have kept Aequa. He could have gotten rid of Lannistia, I feel like, over Aequa. There, I said it.
There, I said it.
But I really liked Luceum and all of his relationships in Luceum. Like,
just moving on from that. You should have killed Lannistia instead. All right, off to Luceum.
Well, I'd kind of already written her off, you know. She tried to kill him. It wasn't her fault, but like, maybe she can't make it back from that, and that's okay.
Well.
But yeah, I would say Obiteum, hopeless. Rez, frustrating. But Luceum...
Well, and Rez is just so much like it's just rough in Res.
Yeah.
Like it's hopeless in Obiteum, but in Res it's just like
deteriorating
gut
rapidly.
punch after gut punch after gut punch.
Yeah. Dog died. Which at first when he brought that, what is it called?
The Alupi.
The Alupi. When he brought the Alupi to what's the city called?
To Catan.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know about this. But then he was just like his like
cool.
trusty companion.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. I loved that.
I still think there's more to Diago, the Alupi Diago. Just because what is that one guy's name? I wanted to say Onesimus, but it's Ostius.
Which one was Ostius?
He was the other guy who was in Luceum, the Anguis guy who had powers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, because remember he went up and like, it almost like he read Diago's mind when he asked if he can bring the Alupi, and he was just like, oh yeah. You know what I mean? Remember that scene? He was like, oh yeah, we can bring him.
Yeah.
He definitely can come. It's like, okay, that needs to be explained. Like what's going on there? I think so. I think there's might be more with the Alupi. Yeah. Even though he like, did he die officially? I can't remember. I think he did. Or was it like did. More of like he's dying, we need to get him somewhere, and they send him off and you never find out? Because if that's the case, then he could still be.
I think that he definitely died.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he died.
I don't know.
Like,
I need an explanation.
I mean, that was at the very end, so I guess I would need to revisit that.
Yeah.
I also am kind of holding out hope that like Aequa's not dead.
Aequa's definitely dead.
But yeah, I did like go back and re-listen to that, and like, I know that he like squashed her head.
Squashed her head like a lemon.
But it was just very graphic. But it just feels so wrong that I'm just like, how are you gonna marvel this? Like, how is this person coming back? You know, is it?
Yeah, that did upset me because it's just like, man.
But it's like you can't even.
So good.
But like her head's gone, so she can't even like. I don't know. But I still have that feeling that it's like that didn't feel resolved. So obviously it can't be done. But I think it's done. But I'm still holding out hope that it's not somehow. That it was maybe like a dream sequence that he was having. You know, maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
probably not.
Yeah, I was so upset. That made me upset in multiple ways.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, but like on the flip side, Luceum. Everything in Luceum was pretty happy. You know, his dad was there. He made new friends.
Good. Yeah.
He like didn't have his arm anymore and he didn't understand why, but he like worked through it. You know?
It was so sad. It was just like him on the boat and just like him thinking just like, man, I wish I could be with Amisa right now.
I know. It's like, bro, no, you don't want to be with Amisa. She stabbed you.
She stabbed you. Like you wanted to be with the Misa, and then also just like, man, I wonder where all my friends think I am right now. They probably think I'm dead.
Lol.
Like, yeah.
Okay, but at the end, so overall, I really liked Luceum, but I started to feel like I felt like in Res with this at the very end, when Cearor was like, I need to talk to you. And he was like, nope.
That was the biggest frustration for me. I think I mentioned it to you like after you finished. I was just like, I hated the ending of the whole book. It feels like it's exactly where we left off. It just did a full circle and we're right back where we were at the end of the Will of the Many. It's like you find out this new thing and the world's not as it seems and something bad's happened. You got to stop it and save it. You're the only hope. Mm-hmm. But are you going to get any answers? No. Why? Because I'm mad at the person who's going to give me answers. So I'm going to tell him, you know what? No, I don't want to talk to you right now. Well,
and then he has, what's the girl's name in Luceum? Like princess?
I don't know. Let me see.
Who's not a princess anymore. So it's like, he has this thing, which that ended up better than Amisa and Vis and the Res. Tara. Yeah. I mean, he has a lot of things going for him in Luceum.
I mean, him and Tara could still be a thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's he's got that going. And he's got a new arm.
And he's got a new magic arm.
Hey, Tara, you see my new shiny arm?
Oh my goodness. And his dad was there and he got to talk to his dad.
That was when he lost his dad in the water.
That was so sad.
You were gone somewhere. And I was like washing the dishes, listening to that. And the kids were in here like watching like Cars or something. And I literally was just like crying, washing the dishes. And then like
so sad.
And then Sam came over just like to ask for something. I don't remember what it was. And I was like, what's up, buddy? I was like, stop. Like in the middle of the scene. I was just like, that was rough.
I love you. Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, so those are my big thoughts.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They were big. Big thoughts.
I know.
Big, strong thoughts.
They were.
Yeah, it was interesting that like Ruarc was Cearor's name, but Ruarc and Luceum like wanted him dead the whole time, right?
Yeah, I know. That's felt...
Yeah. Like, well, there is some hope in the sense that he might not have wanted him dead. He just really wanted to get him to talk to him.
No, I feel like he wanted him dead.
I guess he does say that. It's just like, I was trying to kill you, but now you did something in the other world and now you're our only hope.
Which, like, why was he trying to kill him then? Like, why is being synchronous so bad?
Well, because Ka was the only synchronous, I think.
Yeah, but like, why does Ka get to be the only synchronous? And also, who is Ka? And like, how does will work in Luceum is the other thing.
So I have a theory on that one. Mm-hmm. I think everyone seeding will in res, like all of that will is seeding will for all three worlds. Because remember, Calidus was like breaking down the numbers with Viz in the school, and he was just like, if there's this many like princeps and pyramids and stuff, there should be this many Dimity, this many Tertius, and he's like, this is about how many octavi there should be, right? He's like, well, there's not this, there's like this. And so he was talking about it like how oppressive it is in terms of like there's not a proper pyramid number. It's more like he was saying it's not a pyramid, it's like a
I mean, it is peak. But it's
it's not a straight line pyramid, it's like a really wide base and then it peaks up into...
Forgot about that. Yeah.
Interesting. So I think that lower pyramid is like the extra will is all seeding to the other ones. So like res is the only world where people are seeding, but the will is being used across all three worlds. I don't know how all of that gets transferred, but I think that's how it is. And that's why there's no one like seeding or anything
in the other worlds.
The other worlds.
Huh. I also want what is the big bad guy from like 1,000 years ago? The people that they're at war with, the Convergence or something. So they kind of explain it a little bit at the very end in Res, that like the people who like the dead people.
Yeah.
That all of those dead people waking up with just visses was like a copy of what they created. And so it kind of felt like AI and zombies combined.
Yeah.
So the zombies got a mind of their own and attacked or something. Is that what ended up happening?
I think part of it, hold on, I'm trying to find what it was. Concurrence, not the convergent, the concurrence.
The concurrence, obviously.
Honestly, it almost sounded like, what was that one place? It was in Obiteum that like basically like the data center, the server room essentially of all the kids.
Oh yeah.
It was almost like that, like because that's essentially what that was, right? They were a bunch of the dead, what are those dead people called? Like
we can just call them the zombies.
The zombies, yeah. So the zombies, the Lannistias of the world, per se.
If you wanted to say.
But that's essentially what those were. They were zombies they were running all of that pyramid place. I forgot what that place is called. They were running the whole place, right? Remember? Mm-hmm. And that's essentially what they were describing as the concurrence. That's why I'm like super confused. Like maybe Ka was like a prisoner or something from them. instead of Ka, because like Ka, that was another thing. You have no idea like what.
Like, is Ka good or Ka bad? Because the whole book you're thinking Ka is bad, but then at the end in Res he's like, peace out. It's not me anymore. It's you. You got to figure out if like a little bit's worth everything. Yeah. Else. So
I know there's just not a lot of. There's still so many things that are not answered. Like was Ka, because the description of the concurrence sounded like that server room. A bunch of the zombies that are like controlling everything and running the world essentially.
Yeah, so if it's not Ka, who's behind that?
Yeah, I don't know. And the other thing is that that like tomb in the underground place, like in the garden.
Oh,
Remember where he goes past that door and there's this like basically this sarcophagus pharaoh thing.
Yeah.
What if Cearor went into there and Cearor's the bad guy? I'm sticking by it. The Obiteum Cearor is bad. But he never, like, he just like sees it and then is just like, okay, whatever, I have other things to do. And he like pieces out of there. It's like, what is in there? Like, it could have been like the concurrence, because the other like little girl thing was just like, don't open that door, it's the end of the world. Remember that? And Cearor was just like, don't worry about her. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Cearor's bad.
I hope you're wrong. That's the one good thing about that world. If Cearor is bad, man.
I think that's why you never see him again, is because like in the later book, like you find out that he is not doing the right thing at the end of this book, and it's supposed to be up in the air of just like, wait, is he just ignorant or is he bad? And then in the next book you find out, no, he was bad. He was a bad boy, bad Cearor.
I think he was ignorant. No one can be that good of an actor. No one.
No one alive.
Stop it.
He couldn't use will. Just saying.
Nah. And so then now the Cearor in Luceum is good?
I think so. Well, he knows what's going on.
But the other one does too, if he's bad.
Yeah,
so then you're saying, bad. So why did he choose to be bad?
Because he's not alive. He's a part of the concurrence now. He's dead. He's a zombie.
So every zombie is a part of the concurrence?
I don't know. Because Ka obviously was working those zombies to protect the gate and kill anyone who went synchronous. So, which that's another thing. It's just like, you're fighting the concurrence, who are a bunch of zombies ruling the world. And then how does Ka combat that? By making his own zombie army. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
There's just so many, I have no idea what's going on. But
yes, it's very unclear who we were rooting for. Vis, for the most part.
For the most part.
Outside of Resvis, we don't like him.
Yeah.
Well, we don't not like him.
Mm-hmm.
We're just frustrated with him. But now we're frustrated with Luceum Vis, and maybe now we're frustrated with Obiteum Vis because he killed Ka. I don't know. I feel like I'm just leaving this conversation more unsure.
Yeah, I just have no idea, like, I don't even know what else to talk about with spoiler talks, or with the spoiler portion of this, because it's just like, there's just so much that I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Another tricky part is that because you're jumping from world to world to world, I feel like it's harder to keep track of it all. Oh,
I guess we could also talk about just, what was his name? See, I'm like looking at all these names because I'm just like, the guy who killed Aequa.
Oh.
That guy needs to get this stick out of his butt.
Ira's dad?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like...
Decimus. Magnus Tertius Americus Decimus.
Well, he's the reason Iro died in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, I think you were complaining about it too. Just like, it's just so irrational, like, anger towards Vis. You're mad because he saved people at the Naumachia. He's originally upset and hates him because, like, his daughter died. His daughter died, and like, he saved the world, and Naumachia, he just didn't do it fast enough to save his daughter. It's like, okay, like, granted, there's probably people like that. Like, I've never had a traumatic thing like that happen to me, so like, I'm sure like a lot of people blame a lot of other people in that situation, but logically it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, again, I'm ignorant in terms of like people who are actually going through something like that, but like it seems like something you should eventually like work through and move past.
But I guess like anytime you harbor bitterness,
yes, that's true.
it just like feeds on itself and gets worse. And
yeah, I guess that's a good illustration of that. It's like sometimes it's just irrational in terms of that. If you just don't ever.
Yeah. And obviously he doesn't have a lot of good going for him because he smushed Aequa.
Squashed her like a bug.
I have mixed feelings talking about it like that because it felt more traumatic than.
Well, that's another thing that like threw me off. It like happened so fast. Mm-hmm. It was just like a paragraph, and it's just like, wait, she's gone? What?
Yeah, I just kept waiting for her to come back, and then it not like, to be a thing.
Her.
But I guess like what a tie into real life, you know. You don't always see bad things that are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they happen fast.
Yeah, I mean, Decimus is like a really good illustration of like in life, there's just things that happen and you can either like process it and like get through it. Otherwise, it's like you can just let it
eat you
alive.
And like that eating him alive ended up, like, I feel like costing him.
Well, it cost him his son.
And like, what is it going to cost him next, you know?
Yeah. With
his daughter dying, with his son dying, he's lost some portion of his humanity. I feel like his empathy, like the fact that he just killed Aequa out of nowhere just for revenge, you know? Like,
and he didn't even like think twice about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to stick around in terms of
it's going to be a big bad.
A big bad, I think. Yeah, because I think he's just going to be just that illustration of like he clearly doesn't have anyone that he can process things with. You know, like I don't know if he's married or anything in there, or if he is, it's a very surface level nominal thing, which I mean is kind of like the culture in that book, right? In that world.
Yeah, I think so.
A little bit. It's more political than anything, but yeah, he's just not processing stuff, and so because of that is irrational hatred. He's moving all of that grief and frustration and everything at
I think that I like the way that James Islington writes his characters so much because he has them process things, I feel like.
Yeah.
In almost realistic ways sometimes, you know, like this, I feel so frustrated with like how angry he is and everything sometimes. But honestly, like how often do you get like unreasonably angry at some situations, you know? Like he really plays into the emotional elements of all of these scenarios, not just the logically this is the next move that this character is going to make, you know?
Yeah, I am really interested to see where he goes with this whole, just the overarching conflict that he is now faced with in terms of like, I bet this is going to be the question for the whole series is like, is it good and right to do a great evil to prevent another evil? Is like now he's going to be faced with, he needs to either do the cataclysm and kill 9 out of every 10 people or face the consequences and be destroyed by the Concurrence. And I bet he's probably going to find a third path and defeat the Concurrence somehow.
But maybe not. Maybe it's another Aequa situation. And
he gets the help from the Lycanius characters to take down the Concurrence. I'm sticking to that theory. I'm hoping it's true. Luceum sounds like a very similar setting in worlds to Lycanius, just saying.
I could see it. I don't think it is.
Especially after talking about it now, I am more, I don't know the word, anticipatory.
You want to read the next one more?
Yeah, I'm more eager for.
So are you feeling better about the 3 rating?
I am.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Just because the depth of like Decimus's anger and like the feelings towards him.
Or like the friendship between Iden and Vis and like the level of sacrifice he's willing to make and
just the overall conflict that he has now put on the plate in terms of like not just his conflict, but like just big ethical dilemma that is going to be like unpacked for the series. I think that's going to be like the big unpacking of this book and series is like, is it just and right to like do a great evil to prevent a greater evil? And like, what's the line? Where do you, I mean, he introduced that in the very first book, like with Iden. He's like, you have to have a line that you're not willing to cross. Like, what's that line? And I think that might be the big, like, what is that line? Like, to save the ones you love, you know? I think he did that question really, like the ethical overarching theme of the conflict to think about in Licanius really well. Like, that was why I loved Licanius so well, is like the whole dilemma of, okay, everything is preordained and God has control over everything. Well, then do we not have free will? Are we not free to do our own thing? Like, what does that mean? Is that a prison? Are we slaves to that? Or is there freedom in having everything preordained and under control by a sovereign God, you know, type thing. And that's why I loved Licanius. It is a very good overarching conflict thing to really think through. And I think this is set up a very good one. At least right now, I think that might be it.
So the way that you feel with the strength of the few versus the will of the many, I think is how I feel about the second and third books of Red Rising versus the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't like the second and third books of Red Rising?
What I really liked about the first book was the school setting.
This is the first like...
It's not that I didn't like... The setting just changed so much.
Yeah. I almost...
Like, you went from the school straight to, like, outer space a year later. And now you're, like, introducing all of these new characters and spaces. And it's almost like you're in another world.
I almost like that other world, though. Like, I think... Let's go straight into Red Rising. Let's do this. But,
Red Rising like spoilers.
Yeah. Oh, no. I'm not going to get into spoilers. But a lot of people criticize the Red Rising, and I think a lot of people... do continue on after Red Rising and love it. But I think there are a small group of people that don't like Red Rising, like the first book, and don't go on to the next ones, because it's just, Red Rising is very, like, he takes a lot from a lot of other books.
That's what I liked about it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, I think, don't like it. It's like, wait, this is just Hunger Games with, like, Potter in outer space with Harry Potter houses, and it's like, this is weird. And it's like,
well, we're good.
and so a lot of people like down on it because of that, and I'm always just like, he really comes into his own after Red Rising, in my opinion. Like, literally, if I were to rank all 6 books, Red Rising would be at the bottom. Not because it's actually, like, it would be right above Iron Gold, but but not because Iron Gold or Red Rising are bad, but it's just that the other ones are so much better than it. And I do think, like, for the people who haven't, it's so random. Why, if you've ever thought, if you've read Red Rising and you're just like, I don't like it because it's just Hunger Games, like, go try the next one, because Pierce Brown really comes into his own in terms of, like, his own story and everything after that. Or if you really liked
Red Rising,
just know
and the
that
setting, probably won't. Maybe you won't.
Know that it goes to a completely different direction.
Different direction.
And feel. Similar feel. It's still very, like.
Similar feel in this book.
That's true. It does take up the gore and intensity, like, up a notch in the second book, in the Strength of the Few. Sorry, we're back onto the Strength of the Few.
It was a comparison.
Yeah, it was a comparison, but I still think you should read it. I would love to.
I think I do need to read it again. It's been almost, I think it's been over 3 years at this point since I've read it.
Has it been? Really?
It's been a long time. So it's probably time to give it another try.
I do think it might take you, like, at least a month, maybe 2, to get through Dark Age. Just knowing you. Just knowing you. It'll take you a very long time to get through Dark Age. But I do think that you would really enjoy Lightbringer.
I don't know if Dark Age is worse than what was the one before that. Iron Gold.
Iron Gold, yeah. But yeah, no, Dark Age is like, you might remember, but like there was a night where I was just like, you were like, let's go to bed, and I was like, I don't know if I can sleep. Like, that was awful. Like, I was like reading, I was just like, that was terrible.
And you want to read those because
it's an amazing, like, I would love to talk with you about Dark Age and Lightbringer specifically. It's just like, oh, it's just so good. And right before Red God comes out, it'd be beautiful.
I'll consider.
We got to wrap this up.
Yeah, we're just rambling.
Yeah,
I can spend. This is just us talking.
Yeah, I can spend the rest of the night after we're done with this, trying to convince her to read Red Rising. But yeah, let us know your theories, thoughts, responses to the book. Were you guys in the same boat as us, or
did we miss something big?
Oh yeah, we might have forgotten something.
I feel like there's enough going on that there's definitely a chance that I didn't pick up on something.
Yeah. And I didn't prepare
also,
as well.
What did you think about the Visses in the different worlds? Would you also tell me your rank?
The Visses.
What worlds did you like the best?
Yeah.
If it's Res, you're gonna have to explain yourself. Or Obiteum. If it's
chariot.
Obiteum, Res I could kind of understand, but like
Obiteum was rough. There's some people I bet that loved Obiteum. They're just sick
I want to know
people.
why.
Sick people.
I want to know why. I want to know why you like Obiteum the best.
Yeah.
Hypothetical person.
I did love the chariot race. That was awesome in Res. And I know you didn't, because it took you were like on that chapter for like a week.
I did not like the chair. I was just about to say
like,
that was the worst.
Literally every night for like an entire week, I was like, "Did you get past it yet? Did you get it? Like, or where are you? Where are you?" She's like, "I'm still at the chariot race." She's like, "You need to tell me what happens." And I'm like, "No, you need to read it." I was like, "It's like a 20-minute chapter.
And
you can read it."
I will find something else. I will crochet.
And she did. She was on that chapter for a solid week. Anyways, it was good chatting with you guys. Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah,
and
we'll catch you in the next one.
Yep, we will see you next one.
Yeah, now it's a